Walt loved music. He really did. And he felt that that was one ingredient in a good film.
Walt wanted his people really to do what they wanted and what they felt was right. And for example, he would set the tone. I mean, he would select the story and say, I want these people to work on this particular story.
Well, it sounds pretty good. In fact, that's just the right spirit.
In an animated film, usually the script is the storyboard. And we look at the storyboards and discuss with the story team what situation they need and what they wanted.
Then we write the song that we think will fit, and we play it for them, and then they fit the storyboards to our song.
We knew right away that we wanted to have a French flavor for our songs, and in particular the title song, we wanted it to really set the mood and the style, and it told the story of the Aristocats, who are very aristocratic, special little pussycats that are taken care of and tended to, and of course they had their great adventure. I think the story has a great deal of charm. It has a great deal of whimsy, excitement. The chase sequence is unbelievable, that chase in the country, that midnight howl is hysterical. I mean, there's so many great pieces of animation going on in the show. And the title song, of course, we kept saying, it's too bad Chevalier retired. He'd be perfect for this. He's Mr. Paris, but he had gone into retirement.
Well, Willie Reitherman, the director of the film, said, look, Dick, make a demo. The way you imitate him, make a demo of this song, and we'll get it to him.
And see, maybe he'll come out of retirement to do it. So I girded my loins, and again I did my Chevalier imitation. Which pet's address is the finest in Paris? Which pets possess the longest pedigree? To which pets do the others tip their hats? Naturally, the Aristocats. Well, I did the whole song like that, and we sent it off to Chevalier. And happily, he came out of retirement, and the very last professional work he ever did, the last recording, was the soundtrack to our wonderful picture, Aristocats.
And he imitated Dick.
Which pet's address is the finest in Paris? Which pets possess the longest pedigree? Which pets get to sleep on velvet mats? Naturellement, the Aristocats.
Now, dear, you go to the piano. Now, run along. Both of you, go ahead.
The scales and arpeggios, again, set the characters of the little cats being taught their artistic ways. And so we based everything on the actual sound of scales being played and arpeggios being played. And out came this little song that the Pussycats sang. Every truly cultured music student knows you must learn your scales and your arpeggios. Bring the music ringing from your chest and not your nose while you sing your scales and your arpeggio.
If you're faithful to your daily practicing, you will find your progress is encouraging. Do me, so me, do me, so me, follow, so it goes. When you do your scales and your arpeggios.
And as we go on, we learn about the artist. He has to do his thing, and we had lines. Let's see, where we go. Do me so do so me do me so do so me. Train yourself to draw a line that's straight and true. Then your brush will do just what you want it to. If you study, you won't muddy up each brilliant hue. Practicing your painting is the thing to do. Her days were filled with happy hours, although her youth had flown. And that is why she never felt alone. This little song was written many years ago for the Aristocats. My name is Richard Sherman, and my brother Robert and I were the staff songwriters for the Walt Disney Studios, and we had the pleasure of writing several of the songs for the Aristocats. In the early stages of development of the Aristocats, they told us they needed a song for Madame Bonfamille, And so we would discuss the story point, and they'd develop boards to go along with the song. This particular song that I just played was called She Never Felt Alone. And there are two parts to it. The very first part we called Pourquoi, which means and why. Pourquoi was going to be sung by Madame Bonfamille to express her love for the little kittens and for Duchess, their mama. She sings, "My days are filled with happy hours and happy things to do." And the kittens say, "Pourquoi?" And she says, "And why? Because I have someone like you." And that set up the whole feeling of love that she had for her pets. It turns out that the Disney Animation Research Library still has some of the original storyboards of the song Pourquoi. We're also fortunate to have the original tracks as recorded by Hermione Baddeley, who was the voice of Madame Bonfamille. So we're tickled that now you can actually see what was planned for this song, which was meant to be near the beginning of the story. Madame Bonfamille comes home, and she's carrying this package, and the kittens run down to see her, and the package is a phonograph player, an early gramophone, and she plays a recording that she had just made by herself of how much she loves her kittens. And she also sings along with the record.
My days are filled with happy hours and happy things to do.
Pourquoi?
Because I have someone like you. Sometimes you make me fret, and yet I'm grateful that you do.
Pourquoi?
Because I have someone like you. Trouble disappear as long as I can have you. Darling, can't you see? You're my only family. Pourquoi? Because I have someone like you, and you, and you, and you.
The wonderful Hermione Baddeley had been in a number of pictures for Disney. She was in Mary Poppins and The Happiest Millionaire, two musicals my brother Bob and I had written, and Walt liked her very much. The day of the recording session, we didn't have the voices of the kittens yet. So Roby Lester, who has this gorgeous voice and could also mimic or sound like anybody that we needed her for, performed the voices of the kittens that just say Pourquoi. There's a little piece of the recording where you can actually hear me giving some instructions to Roby on how to say Pourquoi, and I don't even speak French.
Roby,
Yes?
this time you think in terms of 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, Pourquoi? So it'll fit into the song.
Oh, it goes in here. Pourquoi? Pourquoi?
She was just delightful. Later in the film, when Duchess and the kittens are rescued by Thomas O'Malley Cat, he wants her to go with him, and she says, "No, I have to go back to Paris."
Well, it is most important that I get back to Paris. So if you would be just so kind and show me the way.
Now, the second performance of the song was to be sung by Duchess. Ava Gabor did all the speaking parts for Duchess, but when it came to the singing, we had Roby Lester. She came in and sang She Never Felt Alone to Madame Bonfamille's melody, which goes... But this time it was to be sung by Duchess, and Duchess sings, "Through all our days, in tender ways, her love for us was shown. And so, you see, we can't leave her alone." Unfortunately, the song wasn't used. I don't know why, but the opening lyrics of the song were used as dialogue for Duchess.
Oh, Madame, that big mansion all alone. For all our days in tender ways, her love for us was shown. And so, you see, we can't leave her alone.
It never was used as a song the way we'd always hoped it would be. But we do have the original temp track, which was just a piano accompanying Roby Lester's lovely vocal. And now we'll take some wonderful story sketches and artwork and show you how this song would have fit into the final film.
And when we get to Paris, I'll show you the time of your life.
Oh, I'm so sorry, but we just couldn't. You see, my mistress will be so worried about us.
Well, humans don't really worry too much about their pets.
Oh, no. You just don't understand. She loves us very much. Oh, madame. In that big mansion, all alone.
Her days were filled with happy hours, although her youth had flown. Because with us, she never felt alone. She'd always say that we're the greatest treasure she could own. Because with us, she never felt alone. Her troubles would disappear long as she could have us near. Thomas, darling, can't you see? We're her only family. Through all our days in tender ways, her love for us was shown. And so, you see, we can't leave her alone.